It's my first time here in Davos, but over the years this event has been criticised for its gender balance. The overwhelming majority of the delegates here are men, so it would really be more accurate to call it a grave gender imbalance. It is something, though, that the organisers have been trying to change.
There's a lot of work that we've been doing in trying to benchmark gender gaps and trying to put together into the best practices on how to close the gender gaps. We've been trying to bring together communities of people. We're working with various governments to try to close those economic gender gaps. But one of the issues is, of course, to ensure that women should be at the table.
You might be wondering why this is important. Is gender diversity just about looking good in the 21st century? In fact, there is some intriguing evidence about the impact that women leaders have on the performance of their companies.
We looked at those companies that had a board that purely consisted of men and another board that had both men and women. And we found across a number of financial metrics that the ones that had both men and women performed significantly better.
In what way? Financially?
Financially, yes. So return on sales, return on equity as the two main criteria.
Do you think that was because of the women?
Well, I don't think it's just because they had women on boards, but I think it's about what that indicates about the organisation.
One prominent business leader who's become a Davos regular is Naina Lal Kidwai, who runs HSBC in India and also sits on HSBC Asia Pacific's board. She's become known as a trailblazer for Indian women.
If you look at the world of banking now, India has been quite remarkable in that we probably have the highest representation of women CEOs in banking anywhere in the world. 30% of our major banks are now women CEOs. And the last 6 months, we saw 6 come into the government-owned banks, the public sector banks. So what that tells me is that we've had women come through the workplace.
These issues of diversity and equality won't be solved in a day. And what the organisers here have learned is that setting quotas for some participants isn't in itself enough. But given the forum's reputation as an incubator of ideas, it is really important that the women issue stays on the agenda.